Hello friends, welcome back to Akida. In the previous videos, we have seen the theoretical part of the index properties of the soils. Let us solve some of the problems based on these index properties. See the question what they are given. The results were obtained from a liquid limit test of a soil. Okay. There is a soil sample, and if we conducting the liquid limits test, and they have observed that these are the number of flows and corresponding to the water content of the soil, and we have to find out the liquid limit. Okay. Now, how you will define the liquid limit? Liquid limit is nothing but a water content at which 25 number of blows are required to close the groove, isn't it? Now, if you see these values here, okay, the number of blows are 10, 15, 20 and 30. Is there any number of blows called 25? Suppose in the given question, if they have mentioned 25 and corresponding to the sub 25, if they have mentioned 70, then you need not to do anything. You already know that it is the water content at which 25 number of blows are required. So directly what you will consider 70% is the answer. But here, did they given the water content directly corresponding to the 25 number of blows? No. So here, two things you have to understand. First thing is that you have to understand that you have to find water content corresponding to the number of blows 25. And in the second way, how you can find out it. If you remember, we have drawn a graph, that is along the x-axis we have taken logarithm of number of blows. Let us say number of blows if I am representing with n, and if you remember, if I am simply writing log, that means log with respect to the 10. If I represent log e, or directly I am representing ln nothing but a log with respect to e. Just make sure about this point. And along the y-axis we have to consider the water content. Now the question is, and as the number of blows are increasing, that means your water content is decreasing. So how will the graph look like? The graph will look like this. And what is the least value? If you understand it, corresponding to the 20, what is the water content? 74. So let us say that somewhere the number of blows for 20 is somewhere here. So corresponding to the 20, if you see it, the number of blows are nothing but a 74. And what is the next value? We know about 30. So let us say that assume that 30 is somewhere here. So corresponding to the number of blows 30, what is the value we have obtained? The value they are given is 65. And here it is 30. Now, how can I get the value here? 25 blows. Right? How can I get this value? Isn't it? Now, what you can do here, from 20, either you can add the value, or from 30, either you can decrease the value. So you can choose any one. So which one I can choose? Let us say that if I am taking 20, then what it could be? It will be 74 minus this much quantity, isn't it? If I'm taking 30, that will be 65 plus number of blows. Why? Because if your number of blows are increasing, your water content will decrease. Now, how can I find out that value? So if I need the water content corresponding to the 25 number of blows, that will be equal to, if I'm considering number of blows corresponding to the 20. So from the 20, as we are increasing the number of blows, our water content will decrease. That's why I'll take minus here. And what is the change known values from 30 to 20? We will know the value. So what I'll do here, W30 minus W20 divided by, if it is of normal, that means if it is of without any logarithmic, what you will do? Will subtract change in length, change in dimension along y minus change in dimension along x. But here, as you are using the logarithmic, so that's what I'll do here. I'll use this here, logarithmic of 30 divided by 20. Okay, this is what the ratio, and we need to require for corresponding to the 25, and we are going with respect to the 20. So logarithmic of 25 divided by 20. So just substitute the values corresponding to the 20. How many blows are required? 74 minus. Here it will be for 30 it will be 65 and 74. So you can uh, take the value only instead of taking any sign. Divided by log of 30 minus 30 by 20. So you just do the calculation. 30 divided by 20 into logarithmic of 25 divided by 20. So that's it. Substitute the values and tell me how much you are getting. And if you do this, you are getting this is 74 minus, if you do that, here this value is around 4.95. Then if you simplify this, then you will get it as 69.05. That means what is the liquid limit of the soil? That is nothing but a 69.05. So let me consider it as nothing but a 69%. Right? Suppose if you remember, in the same question they can ask you about the flow index also. So what is meant by flow index? Flow index is nothing but you have to consider the slope of air. So the slope is nothing but a slope index that you can directly take by taking any two known values. It is not mandatory that only you have to take corresponding to the 25. No. Slope index for this graph, the line is all slope is always constant. That's why either you can take with respect to the 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 or it's like you can take up to any two values or you can take it from 10 to 30 also, no problem at all. You will get the same answer. Okay, now move on to the next question. So what they are given, just first understand the question. A dry soil sample 250 centimeter cube weighs 400 grams if the specific gravity is 2.7. Okay, that means there is a dry sample, the weight is given and its volume is given, its specific gravity is given, and determine the void ratio and shrinkage limit. Okay, fine. And also the water content required to increase in volume of 10% of the dry volume. So let us write down the given data. What is the given data? They are mentioned that it is a dry soil. Dry soil means the soil is consisting of only solid particles and the air. So what is the volume they have given? The volume, nothing but we have to consider the total volume 250 centimeter cube. So let me write it down with 250 cc. And what is the weight of the sample? If you understand it, the dry sample weight is nothing but a weight of the solid particles. Why? Because as you all know, air doesn't have any weight. So here I'll say weight of the solid particles. Or this I can also write it by W subscript D. That means dry soil weight. So what is the given data? It is given it as 400 grams. And also they have given a specific gravity as 2.7. Isn't it? That's what I remember if I see this. Yeah. And let us write in what they need. They need void ratio, shrinkage limit. So they need the value E, and also they need a shrinkage limit. Shrinkage limit is nothing but a water content of the soil at which the soil is ready to. So shrinkage limit is WS. And also what we have to find? We have to find the also the water content. So if your volume is increasing by 10%, so if your volume of the soil, it is increasing, so what is the water is required to add here? So let us say that, let us do that part in after completion of the void ratio on the shrinkage limit. Okay, now what is meant by void ratio? Void ratio is nothing but a volume of voids to the volume of solids, isn't it? So from the given data, we know only the total volume of the soil. So from this, and also they have given the weight of the solid particles also. So by using this data, somehow you should find what is your volume of voids, or you have to find out the volume of solids. Why? Because if you can find any one, then you can find out the other quantity by subtracting it from the total volume. right? Now the question is how can we find the volume of voids? We don't have any other data. Then they have mentioned that weight of the solid particles, and also they have given true specific gravity. If we know these two, then we can find the volume of solids. So how can I find the volume of solids then? Right? So, or is there any other way? Uh, Let us say that what is mean by G? G is nothing but a, if you remember, weight density of the solid particles divided by weight density of the water. And from this I can say that we don't know about this weight density of solid particles. Why? Because we don't know volume of the solids. Then how can I find out then? If you remember, there is a relationship between the G and gamma D. If you remember, gamma D can be written as G into gamma W divided by 1 plus C. From this, gamma D, weight density. How can you find weight density? Weight of the dry soil divided by total volume. And here, weight I'm considering in grams, and also volume I'm considering centimeter cube. Then what about gamma W? If I write in downs in terms of the grams and centimeter cube, 1 gram per cc. That implies gamma D is nothing but it is given as 400 divided by volume 215. That will be equal to G value is given as 2.7, and gamma W let us consider it as 1 divided by 1 plus E. Solve this and tell me what is the void ratio. If you solve this, then you will get void ratio is around 0.687. It don't have any unit. Okay, first part is done. Then what about the second part? I think shrinkage limit means all the air voids are completely filled with the water. So which relation I can use? I can use that E equal to W into G divided by S. That implies E value just now we have found out. It is coming to be around 0.68, 0.687. That will be equal to we have to find out the its shrinkage limit. That's why Ws into what about the specific gravity 2.7. What about the degree of saturation there? 100%. So if I take 1, I'll get Ws in fraction. If I take 100, I'll get liquid limit in the percentage. That's it. Find out the value. So if you solve this, you will get that your shrinkage limit is equal to 25.4 percentage. You will get around 0.254. If I express that in terms of the percentage, then I'll say that 25.4 percentage, right? If you recall the theory again, that is, let us say that if you are considering a dry soil sample and imagine that this is the volume of solids and this is the volume of voids. This is completely nothing but a solid particles. And what is happening if you keep on increasing the water? What will happen? All the air voids are filled with the water. Then there will be some point, at that point what will happen? All the air voids are completely filled with the water. So the water content at which all the air voids are filled with the water, then we are calling it as a shrinkage limit. If I still increase the water content, what will happen? Is there any place to accommodate this excess water? No. Then what is another way? That means our total volume of the soil is increasing. Understand? Now this is what, now see the question. We have to find the water content at which to increase the volume of 10%, 10% of the dry volume. If you understand here, your volume is increasing. If your volume is increasing, now tell me the water content will be beyond the shrinkage limit or less than the shrinkage limit. Once if you add the water beyond the shrinkage limit, then only your volume of the soil will increase. So that's why from this condition we can understand that our liquid limit is beyond the shrinkage limit. That's what we have understand. How much volume is increased? 10%, isn't it? Now initially what is the total volume? Total volume is observed to be 250 cc. If I increase the 10%, what is the 10% of this amount? 25 cc. So if 10% is increased, then what is the total volume? total volume is nothing but a 275 cc. From this, I have to understand what is the volume of solids and what is the volume of voids. Volume of solids, will it change? No, they will always constant. How can I find the volume of voids then? So volume of solids here. So in this relation, I know E will be equal to volume of voids to the volume of solids, isn't it? So from this, there is a relation. What is this value? 0.687. That will be equal to volume of voids to the volume of solids. We know that volume of voids plus volume of solids will be equal to total volume, right? Isn't it? From this, what is the value of volume of solids? Come on, just substitute here. Here V is nothing but a 250. VV, I can represent in terms of 6 MVS. So 1 plus 0.687. So 250 divided by how much you will get? 1 plus 0.687. So how much you will get? You will get this volume of solids around 148.2 cc. So volume of solids will always remains the constant, even if you total volume is increasing. So your volume of solids is nothing but a 148.2. Then what is the remaining amount? Your volume of voids is nothing but a total volume minus volume of solids. So out of the total 275, neglect 148.2. How much you're getting? 126.8 cc. Now what is the required thing? Our motive is to find not volume of solids and not volume of voids. Our motive is to find the water content. Water content in general, whatever the limit, that can be written as weight of water to the weight of solids. Again the same question. Will the solids volume and weight, will it change? No, they will always be constant. So weight of water divided by weight of solids is always constant. So in the question they have mentioned it as a 400 grams, isn't it? So weight of the solids 400 grams. Now tell me, what about the weight of water? Now tell me, we already know that all these air particles are completely filled with the water. So what is the volume? It will be 126.8 cc. Now tell me, if I know the volume of the water, can't I find this weight? By using weight density. So how can I use it? We can say it as a gamma equal to 1 gram per cc. If it is 1 gram per cc, that is nothing but a weight divided by volume. That will be equal to 1 gram per cc. That means your weight and volume are equal. So what is the volume of water you are having right now? Volume of water is 1.68, 126.8 cc. Then what is the weight? That is nothing but 126.8 grams. That implies weight of the water I can written as 126.8 grams. That's it. Substitute here. 126.8 divided by 400. So find out it how much you're getting. You are getting it as around 0.317. So if I want to express this in terms of the percentage, so if your water content, if you add the water content of 31.7 percentage, then your volume of the soil will increase by 10%. Okay, this is what about the given question. And one more point is that do not think all the formulas by seeing the soil mechanics question and all. First read the question and think about what are the parameters you have to find, and then think about the corresponding relations. Then this is what the sequence generally we will solve the problem. Okay, in the next video I will solve some of the problems. Thank you.